Oh, yeah. Boom. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we're going to be having a look at a very unreliable sequencing generator called Autony. We're going to get straight into it. And we're going to make some music with it to kick off the show. What do you think about that? Boom. Exactly. Let's go. Good morning. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the show. I'm Jade. This is How to Up on iOS. That was something I programmed last night to show off what Autony can do. Autony is a really, really cool, fun app. And the best part about it is it's not meant to be kind of taken seriously, yeah? It's unreliable. Kind of like this show, really. Utterly unreliable. So it fits in really well with what we're going to do on this show every day, yeah? So that thing took me probably about, 15 minutes to throw together using a combination of Autony, Scalar. There's a Cality in here. So Autony is by the same developer as Cality, which we had a look at a couple of weeks ago. And let's close this project out and we'll have a look at the price and stuff, and then we'll come back and we'll clear that. That's gone now. Good stuff. Let's jump over here and say hello to everyone first, and then we shall jump into the app. Yeah. Let's see who's here. Hello to Audible Video. Thomas Christ. Hello to you. Cy and good to see you. David Collette. Welcome back, my friend. Hope you're doing well. And Patrick Chandler. Who else is here? As I scroll down, I think I got all of you. There we go. I'm sure there's more people watching because I can see the numbers. So there's definitely some people watching who haven't said hello yet, and that's okay too. You're allowed to lurk. Let's jump over here and do this. So if you didn't know, now we're playing the featured artist of the day at the end of the show. So we just get straight into the app. I think it's more interesting that way, and we cut through the stuff and we end with somebody really cool. Price drops. Cubasis 3 and Cubasis 2 are on sale. There we go. So half price if you've been wanting to get them. Now is the time to grab them, get them, got them. Good stuff there. Looks like all the Nembrini apps are on sale. There you go. Every Nembrini app you could ever want to poke a stick at, they're all on sale right now. Hello, JDL. Welcome along. What do we see? There's a few others here. So Nembrini, OPL, OBXD, Synthmaster's still on sale. Bunch of stuff. We'll quickly jump over the other page. Synthmaster, Sampletron, Call Gaps, all still on sale as well. And I'm guessing the Eventide ones are still on sale because we've still got a little way to go. Mammoth, Eventide, Rhino, whole bunch of stuff still on sale. Let's talk about Autony. Autony is $3.99, so it's less than a cup of coffee. It is an unreliable sequencer. So generative unreliable sequencer. The selling point of it is that you can turn up the unreliability of it and see what it does. And it's like your ex-wife, pretty much. Absolutely, except it won't cost you a lot of money once they leave you. So better than an ex-wife, yeah? Shall we open up AUM once again and run through some things? Because I've got a few projects here we can look at today. Where are we? Autony demo. Let's open this one up. I don't know what this one is. Can't remember. I've made so many projects with Autony. It looks like we've got 4 projects of Autony running in this one with Agonizer, Strummer, a trumpet and drum computer. And there's even, it looks like here, there's even a scalar on the end. So that's interesting. I don't remember adding that to the mix. And this is the interface of Autony. Let's have a look at it and go full screen. Full screen doesn't get much bigger than small screen. There you go. As you can see here, you've got a sequencer in here. So this is you use this as a MIDI controller. So you don't open this up anywhere else except for if you're in Cubasis as a MIDI. You open it up in AUM as a MIDI over here in this little MIDI section. So it's not something you can use in GarageBand unless you create something over here in AUM or GarageBand and then send it over to GarageBand. So there's that. This is what it looks like. So you've got this little, it's very plain and very simple. It doesn't need to be fancy for what it does, yeah? It's quite a tricky, it's not tricky, it's quite a trickster of an app. It's really fun. So here you can see this little sequence. You've got no like representation of notes or anything like that, which I really like. There's this pressure that's not sitting on my shoulder, always like judging me, telling me that I'm in the wrong key and all that stuff. So that's your sequence. You can generate a new sequence at any time with this just by clicking the generate button. Boom, look at that. And it just generates random sequences. So it's really nice. Let's talk about the controls. So we have a clock unit knob here. And what I want to show you too, hello, Mr. Smith. Hope you're doing good. We'll jump over to my camera here so you can see. I'll show both screens. What's really cool is your mouse movements. So with now I'm sure a lot of you have gone through this before. When you're moving a knob with your fingers, sometimes they're unresponsive. You move up and down and they don't move, and then you move left and right. Well, what's really cool about the knobs in here is when you move up and down, they move nice and fast. So you can see I'm going up and down, they're moving really fast. But if you move left and right, you get a more refined, slower turn. So it actually has consequences, you know? So if you lift with your finger, you're getting a fast turn, and if you move to the right, you're getting a much slower turn, which is really cool. I just like little touches like that. They make life a lot easier, because using touch screens, it is a thing, man. It's a thing where the knobs are always set to different parameters. So how you would have turned knobs with your finger on one app is always different to another app. So this is actually very good, very good. So good start. Fiddling with the knobs is fun. You may have noticed I fired Peppy. We've got a new drummer now. This is Alphonse, and I just made that up on the spot. I'm sure it's going to stick. Oh, God. So the first knob here is the clock unit knob. And this decides the speed, the frequency. So you can see like 132, 16, 8, 4, 4, 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars. So this is the speed of your sequence, yeah? You've got a reliability here. I love this. Reliability. What an interesting knob. So if it's turned up to 100, you can rely on this sequencer to actually do its thing. But the more you turn it down, the more unreliable it gets. So you guys, I love apps like this that really kind of take the piss a little bit. So, my sequence is totally unreliable. It's just going to totally make up its own mind, do whatever it likes. That's cool. So we have a quantity knob here. So this is the quantity of the unreliability. So the amount of unreliability or reliability, it's up to you how much you put in there. So we have a sequencer length here. And you'll notice when I turn this one up, the sequencer gets longer. So I think the maximum is 64. And you can go all the way down to 1 note. And you can play with this. What's really cool is you can, all the parameters are open in this. So in something like Cubasis or here in AUM, you can attach an LFO to it and you can make these knobs spin on their own and create more unpredictability. I'll show you that. I've got a project set up to do that as well. So let's bring this down to, I don't know, 26. You have a gate length. So the higher this is, the less gate there's going to be, yeah? So the longer the notes are going to be, the more you pull it back, it's going to be gated, yeah? So there's that. We have a transpose. Now, when I turn this, see how it kind of moves? It's moving up and down the scale. But as I said in the beginning, there's no like letters or anything to give you the exact scale. That's all controlled here with your notes. So yeah, as you can see, we're going down like a full octave there to 12. So it's a full octave. And then we can go up to 2 octaves, 24. And we can go all the way up to 36 and all the way down to 36. So minus, we'll leave this at 0 for now. You have scales in here as well. So you've got a bunch of scales. This is just a nothing scale. You've got major, acoustic, alien, is that how you say it? Augmented, bebop, was it? Bebop, blues, Dorian, flamenco, Romani, H minor. I mean, there's heaps here. Most of them are. What's Incen? Is that like a modern incel or something? Locrian, Lydian augmented, Leiden, is that how you say it? So yeah, you've got plenty of, and this one here, Mystic. This was created by the creatures from the dark crystal. Oh. Thanks, Alphonse. All right. So you've got that, and then you've got a chords here. So as we change this, we're going up in chords. So you can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 7th. And you've got a root note here of C. And you can see as we move this up, the scale changes as according to the scale of the note. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. Really, really, absolutely, Mr. Smith. Alphonse, he's on it. Like, remember Peppy used to be really slow? Really slow. He can even do like this. Death metal Alphonse. All right, so let's play something with this. What do I have set up? We've got MIDI strummer, I think, is set to number... I don't even know what these are set to. That's really pro of me. So the first one I've got here, I've got it set. This is going into cality, and then cality, I think, is going to strummer. So you can send this through to something else and then through into something else again. Yeah, so this is going through into strummer. So maybe we'll have a look at the trumpet one. I think it's this one. This is the trumpet. So if we solo this trumpet and hit play, I think. So you can see what's going on here. I've kept it nice and simple. Just a straight C with this. And we can change the sequence just by hitting generate. And now we're off. Let's lengthen the sequence a bit. So you can see as I lengthen it, we're getting more notes in there. And this is just doing it all by itself. You know, that's what's great about these apps. They're generative. They do their own thing. Let's turn down the reliability to start with. And you'll notice it's changing, and the notes are going backwards. They're struggling to move forwards because the reliability is changing. The more we turn it down, everything's changing. Let's make it a bit faster. So it's trying to move forward, but the sequence is changing so frequently because of the reliability being down, it can't move forward. Let's turn up the reliability. And now if we turn down the quantity, you'll notice notes will get skipped. Let's change the scale. We'll turn it all back up to 100 again. Hi, Kim. We can transpose it back up to. And now we're off. Now we can speed it up heaps. We can take it. And then we can turn down the reliability and the quantity. And now you start to get this really random stuff going on. Hello, Sith. I'm guessing Sith and Kim just came out of a girl power meeting. They both arrived at the same time. Dodgy. So, let's change the key. And we can gate this as well. So when we turn down the gate to 20%, oh, you did not. Now you can hear it's all gated and unable to get out its notes. It sounds like ducks farting. Wonderful. We can bring the gate back up. Now we're in a scale of flamenco right now. We can change this. Let's go to this mystic. Hello, Bubba. Did you get my latest email? I only need one more bit of info, Bubba. Okay, so hopefully you've got a little bit of an idea of how it works. Now, remember, you can feed this into something else. So I'll give you an example. So we looked at Cality a few weeks ago, which is made by the same developer. What I've done here with this guitar, I've fed Autony into Cality, and then Cality's going into a guitar strummer. So let's see what kind of shenanigans we can cause with this. I've got a feeling it's going to be wild. Right, so for starters, we can go into Autony and we can speed this up a bit. You can see I've got the reliability right down to 32%. We can pretty much dot this as well. Now it's going to keep going because it's being fed into Cality. So watch what happens when we use Cality with this. Chaos is about to ensue. So you can hear the dotted notes still sneaking through. So really interesting rhythms happening here. We can take out the quantity. Now you're going to find there's more gaps. Should we bring in some drums to give it a bit of... Let's bring it all back to a major scale so it makes sense. So I've also got this bass line set up here. So really simple bass line. No unreliability or anything. Everything's just running nice and solid. Let's mess around with this. Let's take out some of this reliability. So when you take out the reliability, this is where you're starting to get that totally random. Every time it plays through, you're getting these random beats, always evolving. And I've got this bass actually down 2 octaves. You can bring it up, back to 0. So it's really easy to use. There's, you know, you don't need a, this isn't like Scalar. I don't need a 2-hour episode to show you how to use it. And basically the last track is I'm just running Scalar. So Scalar's over here in the last track, and I've chosen the lovely choir that's in there. And this is, we have Autony controlling that as well. We can speed this up and make it crazy. Just to fill it out, just like a pad there. So as you can see, a real lot of fun with this app. Nothing too complex. Not going to do your brain in. You're not going to have a exploding brain syndrome or anything like that. Another good generative app to create some ideas. The cool thing about it is that you can feed it into other things. Now, what also is cool is you can control these knobs with, say, an LFO or something like that. If we open up another project, what do I have? What's this one? This one's called Hellscape. We'll save that one till last. So I'll open this one up. This one's a very simple one here. So I've got FAC drum kit open here, and I've got Autony running over there. So if you don't know how to do this by now, with me doing these apps each day, you can see I've got Autony. If I open up the settings here, I'm sending the output, the MIDI output here, which is MIDI output. I'm sending this to the FAC drum kit, which is this track here. So that will hopefully control the drums. If I take this LFO out of the picture, now hit play. So we're generating random pieces of the kit. Now for this to work, you have to understand the kit, yeah? And I'll cover this briefly. This is a good thing to know for a lot of these drum apps, where the drums actually sit. So if we go in now to the drum kit here and I turn on input, MIDI input, I want to select my keyboard and show you. Here's my keyboard. Yeah, it's in shot enough, I guess. There we go. We'll put the camera down a little bit more. So this is a C down here. So this is, I do believe, is it a, what is it, a C3, I think? I think so. Yes, C3. If I recall correctly. So what you've got to do for Autony to pick up the notes, see if I go back over here to Autony and we have the transpose and I bring this up to 0 and hit play, it's not playing any notes. Yeah, because the drums are so low down on the keys. So I have to actually transpose, and you'll watch as I transpose, you'll start hearing parts of the kit be played. So we're at -6 here. So we're 6 octaves, -6 octaves, semitones. And we get down to 12 and we're starting to get more pieces of the kit. But if we go down to 2 octaves to 24, now it's trying to draw from more of the kit. And off it goes. And we can speed this up and create. We can generate this how we want. And by changing the scale as well, we're going to get different results too. See that? We're getting different parts of the kit, and by changing the key. As we change the key, let's turn down the reliability. And if we take out some of the quantity, now we've got absolute chaos. Yeah? Hey, thanks, David, for putting that in the chat. Now, what's interesting is you can set this up so you can have LFOs or something controlling these knobs. So here we have, we've got Rosetta LFO, and basically this is just an LFO. So you can assign you've got 3 LFOs in here. You can assign this to a MIDI number. So I've got MIDI 13 and 15, and I've gone, just to show you how to do this, I've gone here into Autony, into the parameters, and you can see here clock unit. I've gone in here and I've chosen MIDI number 15, yeah, and channel 1 because it's going through channel 1. So now that LFO will send a signal to this speed. So now when I hit play, this knob should start moving around randomly like that. So the speed is being controlled by another app. So you can really take it even further, take it to be even more unreliable. And then I've taken this one here, this LFO, if I turn it on, you'll notice it's controlling the scale now. So now we should get more random instruments pop up in here as well. Let's bring this back down to C. Now, I love stuff that's really off the wall and out of time and creates walls of noise. So interesting that you can do all that kind of stuff. And you can use LFOs and stuff like that for lots of things, for synths, anything that has MIDI controls. So it's a common thing. I think in a week or so, I'm going to do just a concentrated show on LFOs, yeah, and how to set these things up and point them towards synths and control knobs. Thanks, Alphonse. So yeah, that's a thing. So there's just a quick look at how to use it, like with a drum kit or something like that, to create really random, unorganized chaos, because we love unorganized chaos. Let's open up this project here that I made. So here's something really crazy. This is going to be hard to wrap your head around. I've got Euclidean running into Autony, and then Autony running into the Housemark app. So, and what it kind of does is it creates almost like a Zoa kind of thing where we've got two controllers kind of competing through each other. I'll show you what I mean. Let's just hit play. So this is just Autony by itself. And you can see we've got the sequence here running. This is, and the reliability's turned down to 38, quantity's down to 41. It's all in a major C scale just to keep it nice and easy. So we've got those gaps in there because of the quantity being down so low. If we turn the quantity up, you're going to get a more consistent sound. But if we take this back out, you're going to have more rests in there, yeah? Now, if we introduce Euclidean, this is where things get a bit crazy. Maybe. And they really complement each other. The beautiful thing is you can go into Euclidean, and I've got this sequence set up in the same scale. So you have to make sure you keep everything in the same scale so it all sounds good. Major scale, same note. And it really sounds beautiful. And I've actually taken the tempo down on this to a 60, so nice and slow. If I put this back up to like 120 or whatever, you'd hear something like this. And what's really nice about it, if I was just using Euclidean by itself, it's already going to sound really nice because Euclidean's an amazing app, and David Collette, who's here in the chat, it was fundamental in creating algorithms and such for it with Paul from 4 Pockets. So it already sounds amazing, Euclidean, but pumping it through something else to give it even more randomness just creates an even more interesting sound. You know what they say? The more the better. Is that a joke, Alphonse? No. Let's bring it back down to 60. There we go. Now, these are the kind of things, I mean, what I love about stuff like this, you're not always going to get ideas to make music with these kind of apps. And I've said this before, I will create something like this when I'm doing stuff I don't want to do. Like setting up shows on the channel or answering emails or doing that kind of stuff, and just listen to this in headphones. I find this really relaxing to listen to. This is something that I would go to bed to have ringing in the background. Don't always have to make music to release. You can just make stuff like this and let it generate and do its own thing, and there you go. It can, like, you know, help you get to sleep, relax, do whatever it is that you need to do. So it doesn't always have to be about releasing music. You know what I'm saying? Goodness me. All right, so I'm gonna, how much time have we got? We've got about 15 minutes. The last thing I want to do is open up a final project. I think you should have the understanding of how to use the app. It's pretty simple stuff, not too complex, as I said. And I've got this one here called Hellscape. Shall we go with this? Shall we go with something hellish? Now, again, this project, it's only 3 instances of Autony, but this time around I've tried to use some apps that are a little bit more soundscapey, droney kind of thing. So what we're running here is Synthscaper. If you don't know about Synthscaper, I've done a show on it. This is the AUv3 version. There's 2 versions. Also, Apparillo, I've done a show on this, and of course, Animoog. There's Animoog, and I've basically got 3 instances of this running. Shall we have a listen and see what kind of madness this has created? I think we should. I'll turn down my mic and chill. So pretty interesting stuff, yeah? So not only can you make really interesting, generative, crazy, wild stuff, you can make some really super cool, droney, noisy kind of stuff. Interesting. There you go. So that is Autony, $3.99. Lots of fun, really simple to use. Hello, Gary Hubbs. Hello, Valerie, who've joined us late in the show. Now, I know that Thomas Christ has a show coming up next, as usual. He has You Rock, where you guys are the stars, man. You send your music into Thomas and he plays your music every week. So at the end of this show, once the show closes, everybody is here if you would like to. If you turn on your auto, you'll get dumped over to Thomas's thing. Yes, YouTube have turned on the dumping again. So I'll be able to dump you all over at Thomas's chat, but we're going to go out and play a song now, because the way the show works, we close with a song now instead of open with it. So I'm going to play something very special. This is a song for a person who's no longer with us. And this one's for Bobby Lopes, because it is Bobby Lopes. Do the things that make you happy, yeah? Mistakes make us better, and we'll all rise together. Tomorrow I'll be back with an interview with, you guessed it, finally, he's coming on the show. If I can get the photo up here, where is it? Bubba is joining me tomorrow. So make sure you're here and you'll finally get to meet Bubba. Yeah? It's going to be awesome. He's been around the channel for a very long time, a very mysterious character, and we're going to find out who Bubba is tomorrow. We're going to unmask Bubba. All right. So let's go out with this. This is the late, great Bobby Lopes.
Say